everyone, and welcome to Code for America Summit. My name is Glennis Lofland, and I am the Manager of Development Marketing and Communications at Code for America. Before we really launch into all summit activities, I want to take a minute to acknowledge the land that we are able to gather on today. This is important for all of us at Code for America because of our values of listening first, including those who have been excluded, and acting with intention. This is also something that is personal to me. I'm a descendant of the Blackfeet Nation through my mother, who is an enrolled member of the tribe. She was born and raised on our ancestral homelands on the reservation out in Montana, and all of her side of my family still live out there today. So today, we gratefully acknowledge the Native peoples on whose ancestral homelands we gather, as well as the diverse and vibrant Native communities who make their home here today. If you're able to gather with us in person, we are meeting on land that is now known as Arlington, Virginia. This is the ancestral home of the Dogue ancestors, who Virginia annihilated in violent campaigns and laid claim to their lands through the brutal system of African and African American enslavement. This land is home to several Virginia tribes who have lovingly stewarded the land for millennia, including the Rappahannock, the Pamunkey, the Upper Mattaponi, the Chickahominy, the Eastern Chickahominy, the Nansemond, the Monacan, the Mattaponi, the Patawomeck, and the Nottoway. We're currently on the south side of the Potomac River, and the Piscataway tribe has lived on both sides of the river since time immemorial. This land acknowledgement is a compilation of statements from George Mason University, the Smithsonian National Museum of the American Indian, and Code for America's own Indigenous Affinity Group. Now, if you're joining us virtually, I encourage you to pop into the chat whose land you're joining us from today. You can easily find this out by going to the website nativeland.ca or by texting your zip code or city and state to the phone number that one of my colleagues will pop into the chat. Fun fact, the texting bot was actually developed by Code for Anchorage using information provided by the Canadian nonprofit Native Land. Land acknowledgements like these are really just a starting point to recognizing the ongoing impact of colonization and to supporting Native communities. What that recognition and support looks like for each of us and each of our organizations is a little bit different. So here's a few examples of what that looks like for us at Code for America. We strive to work with Indigenous communities when and where we can. In Minnesota, we worked with 11 tribal nations to make sure that our integrated benefits application was something that tribal members could actually use too. Through our affinity group, Indigenous at CFA, we work to educate ourselves on Indigenous issues by sharing stories and other educational resources. And we also recognize that in civic tech, there is a lot we can learn from Native peoples and traditions. Indigenous communities have always been at the forefront of innovation and technology, and we are working with the organization Kuakanaka on an Indigenous research methods training for Code for America staff and brigade volunteers. These are just a few examples of our work with Native communities, and we are looking forward to many, many more. Through acknowledgements like this one, we hope to live our values. Listening first also means listening to what Native peoples, place histories, and places themselves have to share with us. Including those who have been excluded also means making sure that Indigenous voices and issues are brought to the forefront of the conversation. And acting with intention means sharing what we are learning and doing so we might work together in greater solidarity. Thank you.